Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Jupiter conjunct Pluto in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Jupiter conjunct Pluto in a natal chart, it may manifest in having a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and exuberance, which is Jupiter, in making a major change or transformation, which is Pluto. Now, let's say, if you have Pluto in the fourth house as an example, that could be a major change or transformation pertaining to your home, your family life. Maybe it's even traditions that you may want to change in some cases. If you have, say, Pluto in the seventh house as another example, or in Libra, it could be about making a major change or transformation in terms of your relationships. It could be, as well, another way that Jupiter conjunct Pluto may manifest in a natal chart is that there may be a lot of very much passion and desire, which is Pluto, in expanding horizons, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say if Jupiter is in Pisces as an example, expanding horizons, may be done, with a lot of idealism and inspiration. It could be doing something Pisces related, whether it could be something associated with fishing, boating, working on docks, the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Some other things can include poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology, chemistry, doing something associated with illusions, such as working as a magician or in special effects, as some examples. Now, at the same time, you may be overly, obsessive and fixated, which is Pluto's in those matters in terms of expanding horizons. Because keep in mind, conjunctions are neutral aspects, so they can have good and bad qualities connected with them. Now, another thing about Jupiter conjunct Pluto in the natal chart, higher education, which is Jupiter. Maybe something that you have a very intense passion, which is Pluto, for. Now, let's say, Jupiter is in Aquarius as an example. Higher education, courses, maybe tied in, with astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, new technology, aviation, meteorology, television, as some examples. And also, too, there may be college studies, which is Jupiter, that may be Pluto related, because you have a strong integration of the energy of these planets. So, you have, and Pluto related, that can encompass, many things. That could be something associated with the occult, which includes astrology, or something with insurance, tax examinations, a field associated with loans. It could be, college study associated with embalming or surgery or coroner work, something with investigation, forensic science, as some examples. Now, also, too, you may be extremely optimistic, enthusiastic, and exuberant, which is Jupiter, in matters pertaining to shared resources, which is Pluto. If you have, Pluto, say, in Libra or in the seventh house, shared resources situation, maybe tied in with a marriage partner or a significant other, and maybe associated with the law or art, such as, it could be something connected with drawing, or the business partnership connected with drawing, painting, sculpting, as some examples. And let's say if Pluto is in, say, Sagittarius, or even the ninth house as another example. shared resources situations. They may involve foreigners or in-laws. It may be something Sagittarius related, such as a publishing or advertising firm, or like a business connection, as some examples. And also, to in-laws and foreigners, which is Jupiter, may be very passionate, resourceful, resilient, empowering, but at the same time may also be vengeful, jealous, and manipulative. Again, when you have conjunctions in astrology, they have good and bad qualities connected with them. And let's say, for example, if Jupiter, say, is in Scorpio, in-laws, foreigners that are prominent in your life, one or more may actually be a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, people that, again, you could be, resourceful or secretive, empowering, transforming, incisive, probing, but at the same time, can be, surreptitious, or, have a tendency to manipulate, or, in some cases. So this is where, you have, the good and the bad. And also, too, Jupiter conjunct Pluto in a natal chart may also be expressed in where it could be very lucky, fortuitous and fortunate, for which is Jupiter for Pluto-related things, which can encompass many, wide divergence of things. Whether it's shared resources, situations, or matters pertaining to support, whether it's moral, emotional, monetary support. It could be, legacy or inheritances, Pluto-related activities, which can include, the occult, which includes astrology, or matters with loans, insurance, recycling, as some examples. Now, the thing, too, is at the same time, keep in mind that, this aspect may also enlarge Pluto-related matters, because keep in mind, Jupiter, as I've stated in previous videos, and I've stated again, Jupiter could be very paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. So, it can enlarge, Pluto-related matters, whether it's, matters pertaining to insurance, taxes, just more activity associated with them, even death in some cases, matters of support. You may find yourself, maybe even giving more support to others at times than, maybe you'd even like. It can be, too, another way, this aspect may manifest in the chart is that it could also enlarge, again, Jupiter about enlarging and expanding, issues possibly with the colon, the prostate, the bladder, the urinary tract, or reproductive system, which is Pluto. Now, let's say if the, if Pluto is in Capricorn, as an example, those issues may be more enduring or more consistent, tied into older age. They may be more, it could be, just something, again, that happens, when you're old, when you're an older person more, and again, it may be more constant, as, some examples, they may be more of a serious nature. Now, another thing, too, there also may be, surgery or trauma, which is Pluto, associated with the liver, the thighs, the hips, sciatic nerve, or pancreas, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, as an example. They may be on a larger scale. Maybe it's something in which, you try to be more optimistic about, as some examples. It can also be, another thing about, this aspect in the natal chart is that the death, which is Pluto, may occur, in a foreign country, which is Jupiter. It might be, if you have, let's say, Jupiter, in Pisces, as an example, it might be where you're near the sea, as an example. And also to intimate connections, which is Pluto, may be associated with sports, the outdoors, philosophy, religion, publishing, or advertising, which is Jupiter. And they also, the intimate connections may also be very, jovial, jocular, optimistic, expansive, exuberant, enthusiastic, but yet may also be reckless, extravagant, and foolhardy as well. Anyway, people, that'll conclude the C2 astrological segment. Until next time, everyone saying stay well.